Direct.
Okay, so DC means it is direct current and AC means it's alternating current. Is it up? And when you look at the waveform of AC or DC, so this is the DC waveform and this is the AC waveform. So by looking at it, we can say that
DC constant and AC is variable.
DC is constant and AC is variable. DC has no frequency and AC has frequency. So these are the major differences. Based on that, these electrical machines are classified into categories. One is DC machines and another one is AC machines. So again, DC machines are further classified based on the operating principle, based on the input and output. It is motor and the generator. I think you may know that what is meant by motor. Motor is the one which converts
the electrical energy to mechanical energy.
Very good, very good. Which converts the electrical energy to mechanical energy. Then what about the generator?
Which converts the mechanical energy to electrical energy.
Very good, mashallah. So it converts the mechanical energy to electrical energy. But it works on the DC supply, that is called DC motor. If it produces the DC supply, it is called DC generator. Same here, AC motor, AC generator. So if it works on AC supply, that is referred as AC motor. If it produces an AC supply, that is referred as an AC generator. So as I told you earlier, just we are going to study about only the motors. So motors, again electric motors based on the supply. Again based on the supply, they are classified into two major categories, AC motors and DC motors. So AC motors based on the operating principle and construction, there are two major types here, synchronous and induction. So induction motor, single phase and three phase. So before going to study this one, so can anyone tell me what is the difference between this single phase and three phase? What is the difference?
Single phase to
One wire,
three phase, three wire.
Okay. So single phase means, as the name says, it is used for low voltage initially. This is for low voltage. And three phase, it is used for high voltage.
High
So
voltage.
low voltage in the sense how much it is. All the household applications, we are using it for this one for 240 volt as minimum. And when you speak about three phase, it is minimum 440. It is minimum 440. So if you look at it, single phase as low voltage, low power, and it is low watt. As the name says, single phase normally has two wires, one phase and the other one is. Similarly, as the name says, three phase, it has three phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 2, and okay. So totally it is 4 wire system. This is 2 wire. This is what the difference between single phase and three phase. So we'll be studying about low voltage motors, also the high voltage motors. Coming back to here, DC motors are classified into separately excited, self-excited, series, compound, shunt. But we are not going to study about this. So this one will be cancelled. So only the part is that we are going to study about these motors. Okay. So we will start with three-phase induction motor. Then we will start with the three-phase induction motor first. Then we will go to the single phase. Then we will come back to the single phase. This is what the order that we are planning for the delivery. So before going to discuss the detail of this motor, so we will be discussing about parts of the motor. So anyone knows about the parts of the motor? What are the parts of the motor?
shaft,
Yes.
There
Shaft.
is wire.
Good. There is a shaft. Okay.
Bearing.
Okay. Bearings. Very good. There is a bearing.
File.
Yes. Be louder.
File.
File. What is file? Coil. Great. Coil. Coil or winding. Good. Coil or winding. We call it as, normally it is not called as a coil. It is called as winding. Because group of coils are referred as winding. So we call this one as winding. Good. Next,
Magnetic.
magnetic. Magnets. Okay, you may have magnets too. No problem. We may have magnets even. Good. Then
coupling.
coupling.
Balls.
Even coupling is a part of the motor.
Yes.
Is it? Coupling is to
Not
connect the
cooling.
motor with other drive.
Connect
Is it?
the
Amma?
motor to
No.
Cooling fan.
Cooling fan. Good.
Rotor.
Rotor. Good. Great. So normally the motor is represented into two ends. This is called, where you will find the shaft is called driving end, where you will find the fan is called non-driving end. Driving end, and this is non-driving end. From driving end to non-driving end, there are many parts in the motor. So if you look at it, these are the parts of the motor. So if you just stress the motor here and there, this is what the parts from the driving end to the non-driving end. So now it will be very clear. So which is the driving end, which is the non-driving end, it will be very clear now. So if you look at it, this is what the driving end. This is what the driving end, and this is what the non-driving end. And but speaking about the major parts of the motor, if you speak about what are the major parts of the motor, there are two. One is called stator. One is called stator. Stator and rotor are the major parts of the motor. Stator and the rotor. So if you look at it, this entire part, the entire part is referred as stator here. So what are the main parts of the motor? Stator and the rotor. Stator is stationary and the rotor is the rotating part. And apart from this, we are coming from the non-driving end. We have fan and fan cover. What is the purpose of the fan? What is the purpose of the fan?
Cooling.
Yeah. So when the motor starts to operate, what will happen? Normally, if anything works with the current or electricity, there is a dissipation of heat, or there is a loss of heat, there is a development of heat. So heat energy will be developed in the motor, and due to that, the operating temperature of the motor starts to increase to a particular value. So it is necessary that we should operate the motor to a particular temperature. If it exceeds, the motor will be damaged. So what is the purpose of the fan? Simply, whatever the heat energy generated inside the motor, it will be ventilated or it will be taken out to the atmospheric temperature. So by means of the fan. So simply, the purpose of the fan is to cool down or to reduce the temperature, operating temperature of the motor. Then coming back here, when you look at it, this is what we call it as a coil or winding, and there will be an iron parts here. We will come to that later. And this is where you will connect the motor. This is called terminal box. So you have supply R, Y, B. The supply terminal will be connected inside it. This is what we call it as RYB or terminal box. And below that, you can see that mounting holes. The motor can be operated in two positions. One is horizontal, another one is vertical. So if the motor wants to be operated, it has to be properly fixed on the floor. It may be horizontal or vertical. These mounting holes are used to tighten the bolts so that the motor operates without vibration. And above, top of the above, this one is referred as eye bolt. This one is referred as eye bolt, which is used to lift the motor or move the motor from one place to another place. And coming back to here, these are called bearings. So normally, what is the purpose of the bearing? Why do we need a bearing?
Bearing which connect between these motor and shaft.
Okay. So somehow it is correct, but normally there are two purposes of the bearing.
What are it? It is for one direction.
The shaft.
One direction. No, it's not for one direction.
To the alignment, to repair the alignment of the motor.
Alignment. Okay. So normally the first purpose of the bearing is it houses the rotor inside the stator. So it houses the rotor. If you look at it, here you will have one bearing will be placed here, the other bearing will be placed here, so that it houses on both sides. And the second one is it provides smoother rotation or avoids friction or reduces the friction of the rotor. So initially, if there is a movement or there is a rotation, friction, there are chances for friction. So when you use this bearing, the friction of the rotor can be reduced. So the purpose of the bearing is to house the rotor in the stator part and also to reduce the friction or provide smoother operation to the motor. And apart from this, you will have bearing lugs, end seals, and etc. etc. When we connect it together, you will get a motor. So now we will study about three-phase induction motor. As I told you earlier here, so we will start with three-phase induction motor, then we will go for single phase. So three-phase induction motor, we will come here. As I told you, there are two main parts. One is called stator, another one is called rotor. These are the main parts of the stator, main parts of the motor. So if you take any motor, you can take any motor, AC motor or DC motor, whatever it is, these are the main parts. And apart from this, bearing and fan, cooling cover, and end seals, all these things will come later. But these are the main parts, stator and the rotor. Stator is stationary, which does not rotate. I think you may know that. What is meant by stationary? What is meant by stationary? It will not rotate. It will be stable as it is. It is made up of stacked laminations. I will have a video. I will show you how this stator and rotor is made. And slots are seen in the stator housing. Slots are seen in the stator housing. And rotor is the rotating part of the motor. It has punched laminations. I'll tell you what are the things. And rotor slots for rotor winding. So some rotors may have winding. Some rotors may not have winding. So normally the stator construction of all the motors and generators will remain almost the same. There will be a winding, there will be a core, there will be an outer frame or something like that. But when you discuss about the rotor, there are some changes in it. Some rotors may have coils, some rotors may not have coils. Coils are windings. So we are going to study about both the rotors here. So first we will study what are the parts of the stator. What are the parts of the stator? So stator assembly, this is what the stator. So stator is simply, it is equal to an electromagnet. Can anyone say how can we construct an electromagnet? How do we construct an electromagnet? What are the things required? What are the things we required for to construct an electromagnet? Yes?
Wires.
Yeah, you need a wire. Very good. Iron piece. Very good.
Magnetic field.
A magnetic field you will develop. But what? How do you construct an electromagnet?
Current.
You need power.
What you will need a piece of iron. Okay. Then you need a copper coil to be rolled here. Is it? Then
Yes.
when you give the supply, what will happen? What will happen? And magnetic field will be developed across this leg. Is it or not? Okay.
Yes,
So
yes,
now
right.
when you stop the magnetic field, when you stop the electrical supply, is there any magnetic field?
No.
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 So you know how to construct an electromagnet. Similarly, as I told you, stator is simply an electromagnet. So to construct an electromagnet, we need iron, we need copper coil, we need supply. So when you look at it here, the first thing, which is called outer frame. Outer frame, or this is also referred as yoke. Y-O-K-E. Outer frame or yoke. It acts as a protecting cover. It is simply a cover which protects the inner parts of the machine, like rotor, windings, and other bearings and everything will be protected from the outer cover. Outer cover is called as the outer frame or yoke. So now to construct an electromagnet, as I told you, we need iron piece. When you look at it here, these are the iron pieces here. These are the iron pieces. And what you need next one, stator winding, stator core. It is made up of high grade silicon steel. So to construct an electromagnet, we need a conductor. The conductor may be an iron, may be high grade silicon steel or aluminium. It depends on it. So now here we have used high grade silicon steel as an iron here. This part is high grade silicon steel. Then the other one is you need a copper wire. Copper wire is nothing but the stator winding. So whatever the winding, you are rolling it here, it is rolled on the iron part or high grade silicon steel here. So now when you give the electrical supply, where is the electrical supply is here? Where is the electrical supply? So if you look at it, this is where you will give the electrical supply.
Wire.
When you give the electrical supply, what will happen inside it?
Magnetic flux.
Magnetic field. Is it or not? So in that magnetic field, if you keep a conductor in that magnetic field, if you keep a circular conductor, what will happen to the circular conductor?
Rotate.
What will happen to the circular conductor? It will start to
rotate.
get the magnetic field and it will start to
Magnetic.
rotate. It will start to rotate. That is what the working principle of the motor we discussed in the last class. So similarly, an stator is equal to an electromagnet. So outer frame is nothing but which protects the inner parts of the motor. Stator core is simply a piece of iron or the iron part of an electromagnet. Now this can be a high grade silicon steel here. Then stator winding is a group of coils are referred as winding and they are connected with the three-phase supply. When you give the three-phase supply, the magnetic field will be developed here. The magnetic field will be developed here. When you keep start to rotate. So now to understand easily how the stator is going to be constructed, we have the simple video here. So now look at this and how this stator is going to be constructed. So these are the main parts. Every motor will have a main parts. This one is referred as stator. This one is referred as rotor. Now how the stator is going to be constructed. So like this, they will take a steel plates. That is what I told it to you. Stack of laminations. So if you just add it together, you will get these things here. So you can see that this is what we call it as a slot. This is what we call it as a slot, where you will keep the copper coil inside it. Okay. So now if you keep the copper coil, this will be like this. This is an iron part and you have a copper coil. When you give the electrical supply, the magnetic field will be developed here. This is what the rotor. Did you see any windings in the rotor?
No.
No. Okay. So now for this rotor, there is no windings here. There is no copper coils. There is no windings here. But we will study those kind of rotors which may have windings and what is the purpose of winding and all. So now how the stator is going to be constructed. Okay. So this is what about the stator construction. So any questions on the stator? Up to now, any questions? Parts of the motor and what is the stator, what is the rotor, what are the parts of the stator, and any questions up to now?
Mister, this video is different than previous sheet.
Which is sheet?
That 7.
Which 7? Yeah, I'm not sure.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, PowerPoint. Yes. Yeah, that is what I told it to you. I will update PowerPoint. Normally, I will not give the same PowerPoint for all. I will not give same PowerPoint for all the semesters. Okay. So this is the, but you will get the material same, but there are some changes in it. I will do the changes because I'm not the one who will present all the time with the same questions, same PowerPoint slides. I'm not the person like that. I used to change. Okay. But finally, you will receive the corrected version there. No worries. Whatever the material you want, I will give you. And I will ask the questions like that. You will not be able to answer. No worries. Clear?
That's clear.
Okay. Okay, so this is the, we are, as I told you earlier in the beginning, we are going to study about three-phase induction motor. So three-phase induction motor, we studied about the stator. Now going to the rotor. Based on the rotor construction, the three-phase induction motors are classified into two major categories. One is called squirrel cage, another one is called slip ring. So when you look at this classification, but stator remains the same for both type of motors. Stator remains same for both type of motors, but only the rotor construction changes. That is what I have mentioned here. Based on the construction of the rotor, the three-phase induction motors has two types: squirrel cage rotor, slip ring or phase wound rotor. So if I looking at the name, what can be the difference? Can you guess? What will be the difference? Can you guess?
Difference in the shape.
Difference in the shape. Very good. There may be a size and the shape will be the different. Good. What about the others? Okay. The keyword here is
brushless star brush.
the keyword here is wound. Wound means the slip ring rotor will have windings. That means the slip ring rotor will have coils, but the squirrel cage rotor will not have windings. This is the primary difference or the first difference between these two types of rotors. Squirrel cage rotor will not have windings, whereas slip ring rotor will have windings. That is the major difference here. As we discussed earlier, I told you we will be studying both rotors having winding and the rotors does not have winding. So first thing is that we will go for study the squirrel cage rotor. That means a rotor which is not having winding. Then we will go for the rotor which is having winding. Speaking about the squirrel cage rotor. So the keyword here is cage. What is meant by cage generally? How do you call it as a cage? This is what the cage is, it? So you will
like
take this one
like a
and
chamber.
you can keep animals or birds in it. This is what the cage is, it or not?
Yes.
Yeah. If a bird looking like a cage of a squirrel, then it is called as a squirrel cage rotor. If a rotor is constructed looking like a squirrel cage, we call it as a squirrel cage rotor. How do they construct it normally? They will take the shaft first. This is what the shaft, they have taken it, and after that they will have two rings, two copper rings or aluminum rings like that. And these copper rings and aluminum rings are joined together by copper rods like this. When you look at it here, or when you turn this one like this into a vertical point of view, this will be looking like a cage. Is it or not? Is it? If you look at this one and this one, both are looking same. So that is why this is called as a squirrel cage rotor. So if you look at the construction here, this is what the shaft here. This is what the shaft. And they will take one ring, copper ring here, the other copper ring here. So they will join or weld the copper rings on both sides by using the copper rods. And between the copper rods, they will add the discs like this. So that finally, when you add all these things, all these discs from here, here, the rotor will be like this. If you look at it, clear or not?
Yes,
So,
yes, it's clear.
That is, it consists of copper bars which are pushed inside the rotor slots. This is what the copper bars. This is what we are speaking about, copper bars. Then, as I told you here, these copper bars are welded on both sides with the aluminum or copper rings. That is what we were discussing here. So these copper bars are welded with copper or aluminum rings. So these are the copper or aluminum rings together. Okay. So if you go and look at it, so this is how the rotor is going to be constructed. I have a simple video for it. Sorry. Now, look at this one. Squirrel cage rotor construction. So now, this is what the shaft, they have taken the shaft like that. Then, if you look at it, two rings, ring 1 and ring 2. This may be made up of copper or aluminum. It depends on the construction. When you look at it here, these two rings are made up of aluminum, not the copper. So if you look at it, the copper bars are connected or welded in both the rings like that.
Mr. But
Yes.
I see copper squares. Is there are angle or something? Is
I
not
will come
straight.
to that, no problem. I will not leave you like this. Clear?
So,
I'll come to that.
There are
No. I'll
benefits
come
for
to that, Yahi. Just wait for a while. Wait for a while.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
What? Which one is better for aluminium or copper there?
If you are a
And why?
mudir, you can use aluminum. If you are a miskin, you can use copper.
That expensive is cheaper.
Khalli fulus, that's it. If you have more money, if you want to operate the motor economy, we have to go for copper, because copper is lesser cost than aluminum. So that's the point. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
So now, coming to his point, what actually he said, coming to his point. So when you look at this shaft, so I will just go for again, because I don't want to confuse here. I will erase all these things here, because it would be better. So if you look at this, this is what the shaft, is it or not? This is what the shaft. So you have the shaft here, and when you look at the copper bars and the shaft are not parallel. They are like this, is it or not? I think you may know that. Parallel means if the two lines are like this, we call it as a parallel. Is it? Is it? Hello?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Hello, same continuous.
Yes. So if you look at these two lines, this is the shaft line, and this is the shaft line, this is the copper bar line. So this copper bar line and the shaft line are not parallel. Why it is not parallel? Can anyone answer this question?
There is a reason.
I think
Yes.
For moving?
If you
It's not parallel.
want,
They are
no.
For moving. Angle.
think-
There are angle.
rotation. I think to increase the rotation.
No, imagine. I will give you. I can't explain by word, but I will give you example. You know the boats?
are moving.
Yes, for moving. Yeah. The
What
boats
is there to
are
moving?
the blades. The blades is.
What is
comes
there
with
for
angle.
moving?
You know?
That's what. That's what I'm asking. Why it comes with an angle?
Yeah.
It will increase the
Push it.
magnetic.
Which is magnetic.
For
Increase the
rotation,
magnetic.
you need-
Very good.
for
Increase
rotation,
the
because the
magnetic.
magnetic field
Yes.
will act on these bars. So if you make it with angle, it will give more force to rotation.
Somehow it is correct. To understand this principle, why it is like that, we have to go back to this one. So what you are seeing is the motor is rotating, is it?
Rotating, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you have two major parts here. This is stator and this one is rotor, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
But one point,
This is yeah.
Doctor,
tell me.
here you cannot control the direction of the rotation.
You can. Why?
You have to make an angle in order
No.
to control the rotation.
It does not relate to the rotation direction of rotation. It is the other thing. I will explain here, no problem. Just listen. If you have doubts, you can ask me at any time, no problem. Okay. So now what will happen in the stator? Stator is equal to electromagnet, like that, is it? So you have this supply and you have this iron part and you have the winding, is it or not? So when you give the supply, what will happen here?
Rotate.
What will happen here?
Magnetic field.
Correction.
Magnetic field will be there, is it or not?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
This magnetic field will be there when you keep